Hey everybody, I'm Jesse, and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks. And today I'm going to talk about whether or not you are autistic. My wife was sitting there on the couch. We're just sitting there hanging out, watching a podcast or something. I think it was Candace Owens. And she told me that she just got an ad on her phone for a test, an online test to see if you're autistic. And so I got her to screenshot it, and I'll show it to you here. But it really struck me when I realized that what she was telling me, that they were advertising to her a test to see if she was autistic. Okay. To advertise to people to see if they're autistic, just normal, average people who are living normal, average lives. You know, we all struggle. We all have good days and bad days. Life's a bitch and then you die. Life's hard. Life's difficult for everyone. So now it just seems to me that this medical institution, this pharmaceutical industry, has figured out how to monetize that. They've monetized life's a bitch. All right. They figured out how to make money off of that fact that life is a bitch. Now they're cashing in on it. Okay. And that's just obvious to me. Oh, you're having problems? You're autistic. We got a pill for that. That's what I get from that. And of course, again, I'm going to get people in the comments. The last time I did this video on the spectrum and all this stuff, people got upset at me. But so people are going to get in the comments and rage at me because they think that normal people should be on medication, I guess. I don't know. Now, I actually feel kind of stupid for having to illustrate the fact that I'm not talking about severely autistic people. I'm not talking about people with autism. I know a little girl with autism. I understand what that is. Don't get me wrong. Don't get shit twisted. I'm talking about normal people who they are diagnosing with highly functioning autism. That means that they can function in society like a perfectly normal person. Just normal. They're just normal. But they're autistic, I guess. But due to some definition that they came up with at the pharmaceutical industry, right? So anyway, to keep going on with my story, I decided to go ahead and take this test. There was an online test, and I decided to go ahead and take it. I screenshotted the results, and I'll show them to you here. But according to this test I took, I am a highly functioning autistic. Okay? Now, this shit is just, it's just stupid. I'm not, and if you're autistic and you're actually having problems, go ahead, get medication, whatever. I'm not advising anyone to do anything, but I am pointing out to people that there is probably some agenda. Somebody's making money off of this stuff. All right. So all of these highly functioning autistics like myself, I guess, according to this test that I took. Now, not according to a doctor, not according to anything else, but according to this test I took, I am a highly functioning autistic. I did not know that before I took this test. Before I took this test, I did not know I needed medication. I did not know I needed therapy or whatever else goes with autism. I did not know any of that stuff. I would have just gone through with my life and died a normal person until I took this test. Now, if you look at this and now they're advertising for these tests and trying to get you to come and take these tests, and then further the treatment for your autism, for your highly functioning autism, which in my honest opinion, as a layman, as a handyman, this highly functioning autism is just, it's not affecting your life. in a negative way. It's just normal. I don't know how else to say it, because I just feel normal. I'm okay. And when I took the test, I have to point this out. I was as honest as I possibly could be. I actually thought about the answers and answered as truthfully as I could. Okay? I honestly wanted to give this a real shot. And I was fully expecting them to say, nope, you're not on the spectrum. You're good to go. You're okay. You don't. No, that's not what I was told. I was told that I was on some kind of spectrum, right? I had however many things there were. But I can just see, some 80-year-old woman with 15 minutes to live, wasting the rest of her life trying to cure herself of this autism, trying to deal with her autism. Oh, now I understand why my life has been so hard, because I'm a highly functioning autistic. And given the medical industry and the pharmaceutical industry thousands upon thousands of dollars, wasting her time doing this bullshit, I can see that happening just in massive numbers. And that's probably across the board. People are going to fall for this shit, and they're going to go in there. And even how many doctors, if you go in there in today's age of lies and misinformation and all this stuff, how many doctors, if you go in there and you tell them, I think I'm autistic, and then you give them the symptoms that, or the reasons why on this test, yep, I, list the reasons. How many of them are going to say, nope, no, you're not autistic. Go home. You're fine. I don't want any more of your money. I don't waste your time here. You're good to go, man. Don't waste your time. You're good. You're all right, dude. Just do some meditation, relax a little bit, sit in the sunshine or something, try to eat a little healthier, but don't waste your time coming here anymore over this autism shit. How many doctors are going to say that? Versus the amount of doctors that would write me a prescription. All right. Hey, yeah, you're right, dude. You're on the spectrum. I got a pill for that. Let's look it up in the book. I'm getting paid. I got mortgages and car payments and all this stuff, Okay, I'm trying to send my daughter to college. I got shit to do. Let's get you a pill and get you the hell out of here so I can get the next one in. Okay? That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. So you cannot trust any of this shit. You cannot trust this stuff. And so for you to start saying, the reason for all your problems in life and to play the blame game, and it's because I'm a highly functioning autistic, right? For me, I'll say it for me and not for you, for me to play that blame game and start saying that, oh, all my problems are because I'm a highly functioning autistic. And I'm not in control of this. I'm just, I'm a victim. I'm a victim of autism. I'm going to go to my doctor and get a prescription for the rest of my damn life and pay into this. Well, I'll just have to work a little harder, work a few more hours a month to pay for my prescription. So this line of thought, this cultural shift toward medication and pharmaceuticals and all this is just really distressing to me. And the amount of people that fall for it, that are on board with this stuff, that get on here and get angry with me for daring to question the pharmaceutical industry. How dare you? Because last time I said that people just got on, people just lived their lives back then before all this pharmaceutical intervention and before all these spectrums and stuff. Those people were just normal and they lived their lives. And somebody in the comments, I should have pulled it up and talked about the actual comment, and showed y'all, but I don't have much time. I'm working a lot. But somebody in the comments brought up the fact that they were back then they had insane asylums and shit. All right. That was their argument. Well, back in the day, they had insane asylums. Okay, they weren't putting normal people in insane asylums because they were highly functioning autistics. Back then, highly functioning autistics were just normal. 5 days ago, I was just a normal person. Now I'm a highly functioning autistic, according to that test. There was nothing wrong with me. I was going to work. I was paying my bills. I was making YouTube videos. I was feeling pretty good about my life, honestly, except for, just being exhausted from the amount of work I'm doing and the temperature outside and the humidity. I mean, physically, I'm exhausted, but other than that, I'm feeling pretty good about life until I took this test. Now I'm a highly functioning autistic and I need medication. I need to go see my doctor. All right. So I don't think it needs to be said that I won't be making a trip to the doctor. I'm pretty confident that I'm not a highly functioning autistic, just to be clear. Despite what that test says, despite what any test says, I'm just a normal guy. And guess what? The only thing on a spectrum is normality, because a lot of normal people are just a little weird. Well, a little weird is normal. Just like it used to be in the 80s. We were all a little weird in our own way. Some people like their bedroom to be hyper super clean. Everything had to be in a certain place and so no dust and everything. Then some of us were just messy. Our shit was all over the place. Posters hanging off the wall, curling up off the wall and stuff. And, that goes in every aspect of life. I've known guys to keep their work van, super neat and tidy, everything in its place, and, everything clean their van out every day. They were just really anal about that stuff. Me, at the end of the damn day, I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. I throw that shit in the back of the van. It's all bouncing around back there. My tools, I have to search through my tools to find the one I need every time. I have no idea where it is because at the end of the day, I just wanted to go home and find some air conditioning. My van is a disaster. Now at home, I keep stuff a little neater, put stuff away and try to keep things a little cleaner. But my work van is a disaster. That's just me. All right. Now, some guys are on the other end of that spectrum and just hyper organized and they just can't stand to have anything out of place in their work van. And I've met guys on all areas of that spectrum. Now, that doesn't mean that any of us need pharmaceutical intervention. That means that we're just different. We're all normal. All right? And that goes throughout every aspect of life. Relationships, your taste in movies. I've known people that'll sit there and watch these surgical shows that's just filming doctors cutting people open, and I'm watching that shit. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? What the hell are you watching, dude? And I like this shit. Okay, whatever. So you know what I'm saying? So we're all just normal. All right. Now, I'm not trying to convince anyone not to go to the doctor. I'm just saying that I'm not going to, that I'm okay. I'm just normal. And maybe, just maybe you are too. Maybe you're just normal. Maybe your elderly grandmother is just normal. Maybe she doesn't need to go and spend her last remaining years battling this autism that she didn't even realize she had for the first 80 years of her life. And she just trucked through life like it was okay, Maybe life's a bitch because that's the nature of the universe. That's the nature of life, and not because of autism. Maybe we need to stop playing this blame game and looking for saviors in the pharmaceutical industry, in the government, in all these industries and institutions. They're not going to save us. They're not going to rescue us. A lot of these medications we get are addictive. They're hard to come off of. I cannot stress that enough. And if you weigh the pros and cons, okay, I'm a highly functioning autistic right now, right? Now I can go to the doctor, convince the doctor that I'm highly functioning autistic, and get him or her to write me a prescription. All right. Now that pill I take, whatever it's going to do, mellow me out, zombie me out, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Now, is my life today, how I feel today, would that pill elevate that feeling, that would it be worth it? Would it be worth it? And is my point. Would the pros outweigh the cons? And you need to look at that before you go into it, before you start taking this medication. Because coming off a lot of these medications is a bitch. It's difficult. And a lot of you already know this. All right? Some of you probably already know this. And again, to wrap this up, I'm not giving anybody medical advice. I'm just inviting you to think, put a little more thought into this stuff before, we jump on this medical, pharmaceutical bandwagon and try to fix our lives with chemicals. Because, if we're all just being honest, life is tough. Life is tough for the rich people. Life is tough for the poor people. Life is tough. Nobody has it perfect. Yeah, life is a lot better with money, I guess. I've never had it, but I'm assuming it is. But it's a bitch. So to look to these industries to pull us out and rescue us from our lives, I just feel like that's a mistake, and I personally am not going to make it. And I invite y'all to think about this stuff before you go start taking any of these medications. Now, if you want to go talk to your doctor about it, that might be a smart move. Hey, and discuss it with them and see. But if they're quick to write a prescription, especially if you're just normal, if you're just living your normal life, just question this stuff. That's all I'm saying. Just question this stuff and make the right decision for yourself. Because a pill, in my opinion, a pill is not always the right decision. Sometimes the right decision is just to face life on its terms and realize that it is tough and deal with it. And I'll leave you there with that. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and comment. If you'd like to support the channel by becoming a member, I'll put that link down in the description, or you can head over to the channel page and become a member that way. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can do so by clicking on that super thanks button down there. Or you can head over to Buy Me a Coffee and buy me a cup of coffee. I appreciate those of you who do that. Thank you very much, and I'll leave that link down in the description as well. If you're interested in Gen X gear, we got some pretty cool stuff over there. Redbubble, Gen X Thinks and Gen X branded stuff, t-shirts, coffee mugs, stickers, all kinds of cool stuff. But I'll leave that link down in the description for any of you who are interested. If you can't or don't want to support the channel in any of those ways, you can always do so by sharing these videos on your social media. That helps out a hell of a lot, so thank you very much to those of you who do that. I really do appreciate it. If you have any ideas for future episodes of Gen X Thinks, please put those down in the comments. Or you can email us, and the email is genxthinks@gmail.com. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.